Hey guys, Derrickster here, and today we are going to be doing a whole bunch of fishing, and I'm going to tell some stories. So before I do that, I actually need to cut down a little bit more acacia, and I forgot that I had this out here, so I don't really need these saplings anymore. We'll put you out there. So I'm not going to be making a super fancy shack or anything at the moment, just a dock. The colors are going to be a bit different. It started out... Well, my design started out inspired by some of the newer docks around the lakes of where I grew up, which got replaced. It was probably like 6 to 8 years ago now, but it doesn't feel like that long. Because I liked going to the lake and boating and all of that good stuff. So that's where I got the idea. So what those docks are is they use... I don't even know if it's a fake wood or not, but it's gray and very smooth. Looks very similar to this acacia here. That was dumb, but I made it anyway. So, and then it was surrounded by red. But there isn't a red that really worked because the blocks are too large, so I kind of modified it a little bit. And ended up using a block that has a slight reddish hue. And we'll put the dock, I kind of want it here since these are still kind of temporary. Yeah. Out of the way, carrots. Move. Okay. And we want it right. Oh, get rid of these. Oh, that's not a shovel. Now it's a shovel. Here. Yeah. Wait, I want those sideways. Dang it. 3. Yeah, so that's the dock. I just completely lost my train of thought for a half a second there. And we want spruce right there. Wait. Over one more. Right there, and right there. And let's just go out a ways here. Yeah, this. I don't know why I told you where the design came from, because it doesn't look anything like those anymore. But, you know, whatever. Is this how long I want it? That should work. And then we'll want this there, and there. Go away. Thank you. Up we go. Now I considered putting it so the water level was, oh, this is the wrong spot. Was one under the dock, but I think I want it level for now. 1, so if I fall in, I can get back out. And 2, I don't know, I just kind of like it. You can go there, and you can go right there. Oh, you know what? Those need to be out further. Go away. Put you back. Hurry up and finish. Oh, I should have put wood there anyway. Well, we're good. I never would have noticed that. Dang it. Oh, I thought I did this side already. I'm going crazy. Well, been crazy, but going more crazy. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that's not bad. Looks like the water level's really, really high on it, so I may end up moving it up one more. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just leave it like this. Like I said, nothing fancy yet. I want a whole little shack or something over here at some point. But that is for a later day. Alright. Dirt, I don't want you. Go away. So, the stories. So the story I'm going to tell is, I don't really know where it's going to end yet. I think that depends on time. and I might end up finishing in the next one depending on how much I end up talking about, because I have not pre-planned this whatsoever at all. I just came up with the idea of what I should be talking about. So I'm going to be talking about the very first place that I lived and things that happened after I moved out of my parents' house. And I'm going to try to start fishing and not get distracted by my own story, because I'm sure that will happen. So I moved out very soon after I turned 18 and went to go live with a guy that I worked with, and he was still living with his parents. So we lived in their basement. We each had our own room. The funny thing was we actually didn't have doors, so there were just bed sheets hanging down from the ceiling. Stupid regular fish. For our doors, she just kind of pushed it aside and walked in. Almost gypsy-like. It was pretty entertaining. And down in that basement, there was the living room that we had down there, which had a big couch, like 3 TVs that he had set up, a bunch of different consoles. It was a great time. He liked having people over to play video games with him too, which was always fun. And then I had my room, he had his room. I spent a lot of my time there, just to get this out of the way, playing World of Warcraft in my room. I had my computer set up, and I just played away. But there were other times, quite a few, where normally when he brought his friends over, one in particular, who had made some very, very interesting stories. So this friend that I mentioned that made some very, very interesting things, I don't really want to say his exact name, so we'll call him Jay. Sure, Jay. We'll call him Jay. So Jay grew up in a very religious house, and he himself was very, very, very not religious. And it's a very prominent religious house. Like, the last name was just kind of recognized as a name that was religious and involved with the church and all of that stuff. So it followed him everywhere, just because of his last name, and he hated it. And he always felt like, actually for good reason, this is a bit more serious, but I feel like it sets the stage, but he always felt like his parents would not understand if he told them how he felt about his life, because there's another thing too, which we'll get to. That was a very big deal. And so he never told them until after he'd been moved out for a couple of years, and then moved back in because of financial problems. And I don't really know why I'm telling you his story, but whatever. You know what? Like I said, it sets the stage very, very well. Come on, fishy. I want a cool fish, or a book, or something. Something that's not a regular fish. Oh. Oops. Okay. So he moved back in with them for a little bit because of financial problems, and then he decided, you know what? I'm an adult. I can tell my parents. They're my parents. He told them. They kicked him out of the house and stopped talking to him. Now, what he told them, I shouldn't be laughing, that's bad, but he's since gotten over it, and I haven't really talked to him lately, but, it's okay. What he told them was, one, he was not religious at all, did not believe in any of that stuff, because it's just his deal, whatever. To each his own. The other thing he told them was, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm gay. And both of those combined, it's just salmon, right? That's not bad. Just, they stopped talking to him, kicked him out, whatever. He found another place to live. He's got a bunch of friends. He's a great guy. He's fun to hang out with. Anyway, he became very, very flamboyant gay very quickly because of all of this. Did I just miss the bobber? I will wait a while, find out. And he very, very much liked drinking. Way too much. Which, like I've said a couple times already, made for some very, very, very fun things that happened. And some very scary, but now after they're done, fun things. Wow, was I late on that? Did you guys see that? It was like still down in the water. So, the first one that comes to mind, stupid fish, was him and my roommate, just two of them. They were drinking, carrying on, having a good time. And then my roommate had went upstairs to make some, I don't know, some food, whatever, because we were down in the basement, like I mentioned. And I was like, night. It is. I'll have to go sleep. And his friend Jay, as we're calling him, was in his room, or went into his room at that point to find something. But they were both very intoxicated. And I thought, because he was a lily pad, because he was drunk and I'm mean, and it would be hilarious if I were to scare him when he came out of his room. So he went into the room. I waited outside of the room. He came out of the room. I went something like ooga booga, or I don't even know what I said. I probably just said hi, kind of loud-ish. Just probably wasn't expecting it. And he fell. Just fell all over himself. Why am I going in here? Bed's out here. In the most dangerous place ever because it's not protected. Because that's how we roll. We live on the edge, I guess. And while that was kind of mean of me, it was really funny, and I mean, he laughed with me once he realized what had happened. It took him probably a good 20 seconds to realize that I'd scared him and he'd fell out of the ground, because he was pretty drunk. Oh, I haven't actually trampled this stuff yet. I kind of want to. It looks bad. Go away. Come on. There we go. So what other things did Jay do? Here's a good one. So I was in my room playing WoW. He had a couple friends over, and I was in a raid group, so I mean I couldn't have been out there if I wanted to. I don't really know if I would have, because I can be kind of antisocial at times. But that's not important for the story. There you go. And so there's probably about 4 or 5 of them out in that little living room area, and you can fit 3 on the couch. I think there were 2 of them sitting there. The ones were on a beanbag chair that I brought over and on the floor. And Jay is wasted, completely and utterly drunk. Now, the other ones might be just a little bit tipsy, and they're playing some fighting games, so they're really focused on the screen. And all of a sudden, my roommate, who's sitting on the edge of the couch, and there's an empty part of the couch. Well, I should say Jay was sitting next to him. He stood up, but he didn't really pay attention to it because he was really intent on his game. He feels very light sprinkles of liquid, on his arm and shoulder, and he's like, what is that? Whatever, I'm just imagining things, because it was just that very, very, very faint amount that sometimes you think you might be imagining because you're going crazy, when you think it's raining but it's sunny outside. Maybe I'm just insane. I don't know, but I felt it, so I know what he's talking about. And then it keeps going, and then he decides to turn around, and Jay is standing up, has his pants down, and is peeing on the couch. Just full out, doesn't even care, whatever, peeing on the couch. So all of a sudden, I hear this yelling, "Oh my God, Jay, what are you doing? Stop peeing on my couch!" And then he stops, sips, puts his pants back on, zips them back up, whatever, lays back down where he peed, and just fell asleep on the couch. And I come out of my room, what is going on? Someone's peeing on a couch? And he's drunk, whatever, he's asleep in it now. It's disgusting, but we'll clean it up when he wakes up, because I don't want to move him right now, because who knows what else he'll do. So he wakes up the next day, is, kind of hungover, kind of sober. We tell him what happens. He doesn't remember any of it, of course. He apologizes, helps clean it up, and then comes back the next weekend, gets drunk again, and they're doing about the same thing. And this time, he stands up and walks into my roommate's room. Again, doesn't really notice, because he's really intent on his games. Comes back out, no big deal. And my roommate, probably a couple hours later, goes into his room and smells something really funny. And mind you, he has cats, or a cat that goes down there, so he knows what cat piss smells like. And it smells different than that. And then he realizes that he has a wet corner in his room on the carpet, and Jay had gone in, drunk, to his room and peed in the corner of his room. So, I mean, they told him he was banned from peeing while he was drunk, but what are you going to do? He's drunk. But that was the last time that he peed on something while drunk. Pufferfish. Still nothing overly fancy. So, some other ones. Now this is a very, very good reason for you not to drink. to preface this whole story if you're listening to it, because this was a very, very bad thing that happened, and actually, if he would have gotten caught, he would have been in very, very, very serious trouble. But it still makes a good story afterwards, so we're gonna tell it. So he gets drunk, and stands up. Everyone's looking at him because, oh my god, he's peed on things, you know, kind of watching him. He's like, I'm just gonna go outside and smoke, whatever. He goes outside, and all of a sudden, we hear a car start. All of us stop, look at each other, and you can imagine the words that were said. They were, oh crap, just a bit more profane. And then everyone's booking it out the door to try to stop him from leaving in his car. And by the time they get out, he's already gone. They see him driving down the road. They all jump in their cars. They screech out of the driveway because it's right on a main road. And start chasing him down. And he stops in a Jack-in-the-Box, probably 2 miles away. You know, he gets out of the car. They all jump out and basically tackle him. I'm assuming. I didn't actually... Oh, isn't it good? Lure 2? I'll keep my look at the C3. I'm breaking 3. So, yeah. And they're like, Jay, what the hell were you thinking? You're driving completely wasted. You probably want to remember this in the morning. If you got pulled over or, like, hit somebody, you could kill somebody. You go to jail. Who knows what could happen? Freaking out on him. He's like, I just wanted some tacos. So, needless to say, Jay was a very interesting character. Another drunk thing that happened was kind of... I don't know if I really want to tell this story, but you know what? To hell with it. I'm going to tell it anyway. I was laying in bed trying to go to sleep because I had to work in the morning. He was drunk, walks into my room, lays on top of me and my... Oh, I just missed that one. And my comforter and my blankets. Dry humps me like 3 times and just walks out. Doesn't say anything. It was really awkward. Kind of funny, but again, awkward. I don't even... I was just in shock. I couldn't move. I couldn't like push him off of me or anything. He wasn't like touching me. His clothes were still on. I was under like 2 blankets. But it was really weird. Still like the guy. He does some interesting things while he's drunk. Let's see what else happened there. Is there anything else that isn't Jay related? Since that's what we've decided to call him. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm calling him Jay because, like I said, that's not his name. And in my head, I kind of go like, "What? Who's Jay?" I have to remind myself, and since I'm talking, I'm just reminding myself out loud, so you guys can hear it too. You can be part of my insanity. Guess. So this one wasn't at the house, but his best friend. Every Sunday they go over to her house, her and her husband's house, because he's always there and he's really cool too. And they have a big get-together party. They have a band they're in, kind of hit or miss sometimes about people showing up that are in it at the time. And they practice for a bit, and you know they play Pokemon as their big favorite game, which, I mean, I beat them at a couple times. I didn't play with them that much because strategy's not really their thing. They just like it because it's cool and they're Pokemon and they're awesome or whatever. But anyway. We go over there and they're having a big party, big celebration, and they're playing a whole bunch of beer pong. And I do not drink, but they really wanted me to play. So we came up with the rule that whoever I was playing with, because it was 2v2, like normal, whoever I was playing with had to take double shots. Instead of each person taking one, the person I was playing with had to take 2. So I'm playing with another guy that I work with, not my roommate. And I think we lost, but... He could barely walk after just that game, taking the double shots. I don't know what alcohol they were using, because I'm assuming it wasn't beer, because he's not a lightweight. I've seen him drink all of the time. Is that really all I'm getting? Oh, I got a bow. Infinity. I got another infinity bow. Yes! Yes! It's the Doc. Thank you, Doc. You're wonderful. Yeah. I hope the beginning of this episode wasn't muted because it didn't look like it was, but I kind of felt the little slider that I've got on my headset move a little bit when I touched it. So I'll have to check after I'm done here. What else fun happened with my roommate and his buddies? was this one time where he saw on Craigslist that someone was giving away a keyboard or a couple keyboards. And he was like, oh my gosh, piano digital keyboards for free. I need one. I don't have one. It'd be really cool to have one, especially one that had like a synth in it too that he could, digital sounds and stuff with. Because, it said keyboard with like USB port plug-in or something like that. So he's freaking out. It's like 3 in the morning. He's like, guys, let's go get it. We all jump in his car and go find this place because they said they were just going to leave it out in their front yard, first come, first serve. And we get there like 3:30-ish, and there's this little tiny cardboard box. We're like, what? Keyboard? Oh, keyboard like typing for your computer keyboard. So he took the box anyway, even though he didn't really need it. And I don't even know what he did with the things. Because random 3 o'clock adventure is going to find keyboards in front of somebody's house off of Craigslist. Good times. I feel like there's more. There's gotta be at least one more good little story that I can tell. Hello. That was my attempt at sort of sounding like a villager. I know there's at least one more. Yeah, I can't really think of one. Oh well. I guess that's good enough. So I'm gonna go sleep. Well, I'll go stand up here, and we'll actually end the episode, because it's actually been long enough, surprisingly. It has only felt like 10 minutes for me, but whatever. I'm not complaining. Apparently, I'm talkative when I tell stories. So yeah, those were the stories, at least the ones I can remember for now, of my first roommate and the first place I lived after I moved out of my parents' house. And I hope they were entertaining. No, I was entertaining. If you liked the episode, leave a like or comment, or even favorite for me. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I will see you guys in the next episode.